Each year, thousands of leaders, innovators, and forward thinkers gather at Workday Rising to explore what's next in the changing world of work. We've unlocked the vaults on our most impactful conversations, and we're bringing them directly to you. We dove deep into the strategies and insights shaping our collective future, so prepare to be inspired, challenged, and empowered to make a change. This is the Future of Work podcast, recorded live at Workday Rising.
I'm Emma Chalwin, Workday Chief Marketing Officer, and I'm so excited to be joined by Joanna Riley, who is CEO and co-founder of Censia. Joanna, it's so lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Well, I know that both you and I are on a mission to show that AI isn't just about replacing people. It's about making us all better as humans at what we do. It's that true kind of human-centric approach to technology. And I can't wait to talk about how leaders can use AI actually as a superpower to unlock potential.
Definitely.
It's going to be great.
I think I think you're absolutely right. That is the topic of Workday Rising.
I know, that's right. Well, let's dig in a little bit, because there's so much conversation around AI. I don't think you can be anywhere talking about anything without AI being mentioned. And it's really easy to kind of get a bit lost in all of the noise. It feels like every day there's a new headline that's kind of doomy gloomy about it's the end of work as we know it. So I'd love to kind of level set with you for a moment, if I may, and ask, what's the biggest misconception that you're seeing regarding AI in a world of leadership, and how should leaders really be thinking about it to lead with both courage and with clarity?
Love that. I think the biggest misconception that leaders have with AI is actually a sense of the unknown is causing fear. And to your point, AI is changing every single day. And so there's this sense of, well, I'm not going to start figuring out until it's done, evolving and changing. And I'm going to ask other people to potentially lean in. And I think that fear isn't just a fear of maybe replacing work or what's it going to do to my job, but more a fear of it's just a lot. It's a lot of change. It's a lot of impact. It's a lot of opportunity. A lot of people asking questions. You know, if you're a leader today, the rest of the leaders are asking around how we're using AI. And so there's a lot of this pressure. And I think that leaders have an opportunity to just even lean in a bit. And when they lean in a bit, they're going to find that their world is really opened up. But there's this fear of, I have to understand it all and I have to be an expert before I can even start leaning in. And so I think the misconception that has historically been the case in a lot of times of change, that is not the case with AI. I think leaning in, even in a small amount, will allow people to get more.
That's super interesting, because if you think about the world that we're in right now, if you actually wait until you have all of the answers and you're standing still, you're actually going backwards.
That's right.
That's going to be the challenge. So you need to be curious, you need to lean in and use AI every day.
So true.
Okay, that's great. That's actually a brilliant way to frame it. I'm shifting gears a little bit. I often talk to my team about the difference between soul work and salary work, as I call it. Now, salary work is the stuff that you have to get done just to kind of keep the lights on. It can be a little bit draining. Whereas soul work is when you get stuck into a project and it brings you alive and you radiate completely. And I love it when the team are energized. You really create high performing teams, especially if they're working on their soul work and stuff they love. When you get people doing at least kind of 70 to 80% of their soul work, you have a really, truly unstoppable team. So I'd love to understand from you a little bit more about how you see AI amplifying this kind of soul work to truly unleash the full potential of their people, especially as a leader.
I love that. I think, what's magical is we're here even in this very moment. We're together with 20,000 people interacting and doing what I would say is one of the most true soul works of human beings, which is being face-to-face, interacting.
That connection.
That's right. And the reason that we have the ability to do that is because the agents and AI are working in the background. Think of how many things are being transcribed and how many things are being intelligently analyzed and how much work is being done that is not soul, it's not the soul work, the stuff that humans would have to be doing themselves that now can be really done by AI, allows us to be the most human we can be. It allows us to really tap into that soul work. And I think it allows us to find, even in the most beautiful way, really people's zone of genius. What is it that they are, when they are in the zone and they are using the part of them that just is way better than everybody else, they get to leverage that, and they're not getting bombarded by, I have to do all of this manual work to get there and really spend my time, my maybe much smaller amount of time in my soul work, but rather they can spend a lot more, 70, 80% of their time actually doing soul work and get just a maximum amount, which for me, I love the people to people. Like, this has been amazing at the conference, just having so many wonderful face-to-face conversations, and there's so much happening, whether it's recordings or whether it's analyzing or whatnot, that AI has been working and allowing us to be much more present.
We like to think of, we've talked a lot about AI-powered, human-centric, future-ready.
Yeah.
So really using technology to empower people and almost kind of elevate humans and supercharge work.
Yeah.
So I love that. I can't possibly sit down and talk to you without talking about your background, because it's truly unique.
Yes.
From your work at the FBI to building companies from the ground up. You must have faced and overcome some pretty serious challenges in your time. I have to imagine there were moments of kind of real uncertainty along the way. So I'd love to ask, what did you learn about those moments, about resilience and confidence? I think that's really important in today's new world of work. And what advice do you have for leaders who need to guide their teams through the disruption and uncertainty in this new age of AI in the new world of work?
I have definitely learned the most things from the things that didn't work out, from those challenging times. The thing that I've learned through that the most, when I first started as a leader, I would try and guard my people from bad things. I would try and take the protector. Like, I was like, I'm going to take the stuff and I'm going to repackage it and I'm going to tell you that I think it's going to be all okay. And I thought if I did that, they'd be safer and they'd trust more and they'd be okay. And they wouldn't have to wear my problems when they went to bed. I just, I'll stay up at night. You guys sleep well. And what I learned was that was actually completely the opposite. That the transparency, when there was an unknown or when something bad would happen, actually the transparency and honestly, like extreme vulnerability, allowed the team to trust me so much more. And it allowed me to really lead with a place of empathy and a place of curiosity and active listening, where instead of it was me trying to solve the problem and package it in front of the team, they were actually all in it with me. And so when I found, my advice to leaders would be, the more that they can be vulnerable, the more that they can be transparent, the more that they can encourage their teams to be involved in the solution, that the more trust and connection and growth and innovation that's going to come out of being a leader.
Well, you're actually building that team and that camaraderie and the thought process that you're all in it together.
Right.
And I think that's wonderful. And you talked a lot about things that are very important to me. And I think as a leader, it's critical to have that vulnerability. I believe vulnerability is a superpower.
It is.
It's the most underrated superpower.
I know.
But it's critical for leaders in this new world of work. Authenticity, curiosity, all of those things. So that's wonderful. So let's try and look ahead for a moment. Let's look through the windshield, not the rearview mirror. If leaders truly embrace collaboration with AI and they prioritize the human side of this transformation, what do you think the future could look like?
I think the future is going to continue to evolve at such a rapid pace, but we also are going to see not only an evolution in the work that we do, we're going to see an evolution of the type of jobs. We're going to see innovation that comes out of everywhere, because when we remove one part of what we're doing every day, we start thinking, what else could I automate? What else could I go and make better? How else could I innovate around this problem? And I think that the future is going to be really allowing all people to have the real opportunity of changing the world. Every person can It doesn't have to be so hierarchical as it has in history. It doesn't have to be, okay, well, this leader's worked so long at this time, or this is the leader and I'm one of the team members. But I think we're going to see a lot more flat organizations. I think we're going to see innovation coming out of everywhere. I think we're going to see that as the AI native generation comes to the workforce, what is that going to bring? You know, the kids that are in schools today, I'm thrilled to see them in the workforce and how they rethink things and transform. And so it's the thing I get the most excited about the future.
That's wonderful. How does this not just change the way we work, but also transform what it means to be a leader? And in your view, how does this become a true leadership superpower?
We're at a time right now where leaders can really enable their people. Mm-hmm. And that we are at a time when leaders really can hurt their people. I believe that humans that know AI are absolutely going to outpace and be able to replace humans that don't know AI. So as a leader, and not just a leader in a company, but also a leader of an educational institution or professor or a leader in, you know, elementary school, how do we give people permission to explore and be innovative and try these technologies so that they can be better? Mm-hmm. And if we enable them with these capabilities, and if we enable this as part of their work every day, what we will be able to get out of them. But I think that leaders of the future are going to have to be those that really enable their people to change process, to transform things, to reimagine. We are at a moment of reimagining all things.
Yeah.
And what a fun time, because it isn't about us removing work. It's about us transforming work. And it's about us being a huge part of that transformation that just, I mean, I get goosebumps talking about it. It fires me up.
No, it's wonderful. And, you know, I think I haven't seen such a kind of tectonic shift probably since the internet.
I know.
I would say, you know, the world is completely transforming. And as you say, you have to lean in, embrace it, probably break some glass.
That's right.
Probably not get everything right first time, but you've got to learn and evolve and really lean in. So that's wonderful. Okay, so shifting gears again, for those leaders, especially the ones who are a bit earlier in their career and maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the pace of AI because everything is moving so quickly, what's one piece of advice you wish someone had given you when you were first starting out?
I will requote the famous words of Taylor Swift, or her message recently, which is around, we have to treat the things that are, I wish I had known to treat the things that were potentially small things I gave a lot of energy to, and that I should treat that energy as a luxury. I should treat that energy as expensive, and that not everyone can afford that energy.
Yeah.
And not everyone deserves that energy. And so it's easy when starting out, and especially when you're feeling overwhelmed and there's a lot of transformations, to get caught up in comparing or be caught up in somebody that just has a thing or a gripe about you, or to be caught up about a deal not working out or a partner not working out or an investment not working out. And those things don't deserve as much energy as in the beginning maybe they're given. And so as I've evolved in my own career, it's something that I've really thought through, is like, is this something I'm going to spend my time really?
And maybe not sweat the small stuff and don't give so much oxygen to things that really don't warrant it or deserve it.
Such a better way of saying it. Exactly.
That's amazing advice. I think I will take that advice every now and then again too. So every time I do, I'll think of you.
Oh, good. Yes.
Well, thanks so much, Joanna, for joining us, for these incredible insights. It's been wonderful catching up again.
Thanks so much.
And thank you for those online joining us. We really hoped you enjoyed our conversation, and see you again soon.